Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to Performance Testing Live Training. This is Pawan from MGMIT. So as we are, as we announced earlier, like I will be giving free training on MongoDB performance testing. So we have already made and uploaded two recorded sessions to my YouTube channel. So if you haven't go through, please go through the previous sessions first if you want to explore what is MongoDB and how to do performance testing for MongoDB, right? So we already have two sessions before, and this is the third session. So in session 3, what I'm going to cover today is I'm going to cover MongoDB data structure. As you can see here, this is session 3 contents. This is the agenda for session 3. So MongoDB database structure, and wherein we'll discuss what are documents, collections, and all this, and how to perform CRUD operations on MongoDB, right? So when you say CRUD operations, yes, we cover this as part of performance testing fundamentals to our students. Those who join performance testing, with any tool, say LoadRunner or JMeter. So we cover these CRUD operations in the regular training in the first 1 week to 10 days skills. So, okay. So doing some marketing here. Yeah. So what is meant by CRUD operation? Let's understand what is meant by CRUD operation. So these, this is the short form of this create, read, update, delete, as you can see here, right? So C for create, R for read, U for update, and D for delete, right? So CRUD operations, CRUD is a short form of create, read, update, delete, right? And if you want to map it with HTTP concepts, HTTP request methods, create represents post, right? Or read is something like get or retrieve, isn't it? And update is put or patch, right? And delete is again, the request method of HTTP request method for a delete operation is also a delete. And in SQL, if you map it with SQL concepts, we call this as insert, select, update, delete. And in RESTful web services, we can map it with post, get, and put and delete, as I have shown in this table. So this is all about CRUD operations, and we will cover some SQL basics as well as important SQL concepts. If you join the regular training. Anyway, so coming back to this, so we have started. By the way, one new batch was started for JMeter. So JMeter, BlazeMeter, and timings are 8 to 9 a.m. IST. So I will be covering JMeter, BlazeMeter in this batch, and then InfluxDB, JMeter integration with InfluxDB, Grafana, and after once JMeter is completed, like we'll start LoadRunner, and once LoadRunner and JMeter are completed, so we'll be starting like we are planning to start Dynatrace in the same batch. Clear, guys? So enrollments are in progress into that batch. This is July 2023 batch, and there are already around 25 people who already 20 excluding the trainers and lab coordinators. We have around 26 students already confirmed their joining. So please ping me on this WhatsApp number if someone want to enroll for this live training on performance testing. And here is my WhatsApp number. Well, let me quickly show you my WhatsApp number, guys. So please save my WhatsApp number. Otherwise, you will not get our notifications. So, on these new batch updates and free demo sessions. So this is my WhatsApp number. Save this WhatsApp number. And, if you want to receive these videos, free training videos or updates on new batches, interview questions, etc. So please subscribe and turn on all notifications to my YouTube channel. So we'll be regularly updating these free training sessions as well as interview questions, referral openings, as you can see over here, right? So you can see this is an update regarding new batch, and JMeter 5.6 was released 2 weeks ago. Of course, 5.6.2 is the latest version now. So we are providing some free training on Unix and Linux concepts, right? So some interview questions like this on Kubernetes and AWS and all this. So if you don't want to miss these updates, subscribe and turn on all notifications, guys. Okay. Now coming back to this MongoDB session today. So this is the agenda for today's session: MongoDB data structure, wherein I'll explain documents and collections, and MongoDB CRUD, how to do CRUD operations or create, read, or update, delete operations in MongoDB, and how to create or insert a document into a MongoDB collection, right? So this would be the agenda for today. I'll try to cover as many topics as possible. Clear, guys? Now, so let's move on. So in the last session, I have shown you how to download and install MongoDB and what is MongoDB Compass, what is MongoDB Shell, and all. We already discussed that. Now let's move on to the today's agendas, today's agenda topics. Now, before going to those thread operations in a MongoDB, first let's understand what is a database, how does a database structure look like in MongoDB, right? So to help you easily understand, right? So, or to help myself to easily explain, I have mapped it with the SQL concepts, right? So let me use in a Spotlight. Yes. So SQL terms, I have mapped this, I tried to relate this with MongoDB concepts with SQL because, most of us are familiar with relational database concepts. So in relational database terminology, we call, database. Basically, all these are, what are the different databases that we have? Relational database, we have MySQL, Microsoft SQL, Oracle database, and all, right? So in MongoDB also, we call it as a database similar to SQL terminology. And a database consists of multiple tables in non-relational database, right? So here in non-relational database like MongoDB, we call that as a collection. So collection is nothing but a table in MongoDB, right? It acts like a table. Collection in a MongoDB is something similar to table in a relational database like MySQL or Microsoft SQL, etc. Right? And then in collection, so a collection will have multiple documents in MongoDB, something like just like how a table contains multiple rows in relational database. A collection is nothing but a group of documents in MongoDB. And just like, rows will have multiple columns in a table, same way like we have different fields in MongoDB. Clear, guys? So you can see that I have provided the mapping. So collections is nothing but tables in relational database. Document is nothing but a row in relational database. And field is nothing but a column in a relational database. Clear, guys? So now let's move on to the next concept. Okay. Having said that, so again, I just gave a quick comparison with some nice images, as you can see over here. So, but the underlying concept is the same. Let's move on to the next slide. So this I already covered, guys, in the previous session. Please go through the previous session. If you want to know, or if you are not already aware of what is MongoDB Compass and MongoDB Shell, please go through my previous sessions. All right. Now let's focus more on MongoDB terminology now. Okay, I'm going to slideshow mode. Now let's understand this MongoDB terminology. Sorry, guys. Okay. So in MongoDB, as we discussed in the previous slide, right? So MongoDB contains something called collections. A database consists of collections, as you can see over here. MongoDB database consists of collections. Now, what is a collection, guys? A collection is similar to a table in RDBMS, right? And MongoDB collections do not enforce schemas. We already discussed this. MongoDB doesn't enforce schemas. That's why it is called as a schemaless database. And each MongoDB collection can have multiple documents. Each MongoDB collection can have multiple documents, just like how a table contains multiple rows in a table in a relational database contains multiple rows, right? So in the same way, MongoDB collection can have multiple documents. And that's what I have represented here. A collection will have multiple documents. Again, a document will have multiple fields, as you can see over here. There is, or you can see it over here. I have, I gave boundaries for each one of these to help you understand easily. Clear, guys? Now, what is a document? Now, let's understand what is a document. As we discussed, right? So, document is nothing but a row in a table. A document is equivalent to a row in a table in RDBMS. Clear, guys? And MongoDB displays documents in JSON format, but stores the data in the BSON format in the database. So we'll discuss what is this JSON and what is this BSON in the coming up sessions. Now let's understand how does a document look like. Let's understand how does a document looks like in a MongoDB database. And we'll see like how to insert a document and all practically with the help of MongoDB Compass toolkits. So let me launch. I have already installed MongoDB Compass on my machine. Let me launch it. Right now, A MongoDB document will start with a curly brace and ends with a curly brace, as you can see here. And it will contain any MongoDB document consists of field name value pairs or field and value pairs, right? So these are called as field and value pairs. Just like, in internet terminology or, in development terminology, we call that as name value pairs or key value pairs, right? Isn't it? I hope everyone knows, what is this name, key value pair or name value pair. Okay. Hold on this. Okay. You'll please, stay back like I will explain in the next slide. Okay. So you'll understand what is field and what is value very soon in the coming up session. In the next slide, in the next couple of minutes. So, and here a value can be a string or a number or an array or a date or a timestamp or an object. It can also contain a document or can also contain multiple objects. Clear this? So a document starts with a MongoDB document starts with a curly brace and ends with a curly brace, and it will contain multiple field value pairs. Right? So please remember like this, a MongoDB document consists of starts with a curly brace and ends with a curly brace, and it will contain multiple field value pairs. So we'll understand, what is this field value pair very soon. So before going to that, again, some pictorial representation of, difference between a table and a collection in relational database and non-relational database, right? Now let's understand, that field value pairs and what is that story of that MongoDB, right? Now, suppose if you have a relational database and you want to store some data of some users in a table, right? I have a users table over here, and this is how the data will be stored in a users table. Clear, isn't it, guys? So this is how data of some user will be stored in a users table. It will contain some ID and first name, last name. So I just took some example, guys. Now we'll see how can it be, how can the same information be stored in the form of a MongoDB document? I'll show you soon. Right. So let's assume, assume here there is, data of one person, right, which is stored in the form of a table, and this is how it looks like in a tabular format in a relational database case, like MySQL or Microsoft SQL or Oracle database. So these are called as, columns. So let me use Spotlight over here. Yeah. So this is called a row, right? We call this as a row, and these are different columns in a table, isn't it? So the vertical ones are columns and these horizontal ones are called rows. And each person detail will be stored in a particular row. Clear, guys? And again, this is my WhatsApp number, guys. If you haven't saved it, please save my WhatsApp number so that you will get updates on new batches and as well as free demo sessions. Clear, guys? Right. Now, so this is how a users table looks like in a conventional or a regular relational database. Now let's see if we want to represent the same data, if we want to store the similar data in a MongoDB document. This is how it looks like. As we discussed before, it starts with a curly brace and it will contain multiple field value pairs like this, right? We just not discuss that, right? So ID goes here, and then first name goes here like this, and then last name. Observe here, this is the field, and this is the value put in double quotes separated by a column. This field and value pairs are separated by a column. Clear, guys? And this is how, a document in a MongoDB looks like, right? We'll use the same example and I will show you how to insert this document, how to insert these details into a MongoDB collection, guys. We'll see that soon. Now let's see how to create or insert a document into MongoDB. So let's understand that practically. So for that, I will launch my MongoDB Compass tool. And first, I have installed MongoDB on my local machine. And this is the default port number, right? Which I already covered in the previous session. So this is the machine name and this is the port number on which MongoDB is currently running on my machine. Clear, guys? Now let's move on to my, so let me first connect to the database, guys, right? So before that, if you want to use this MongoDB Compass, so you need to go to services and you need to start MongoDB database, guys. So please remember that you need to go to services, hold on. So let me search for MongoDB. This is MySQL, and then you should have somewhere this MongoDB somewhere. Come on, guys. Yeah, here it is, MongoDB server. So right now it is running, guys. Otherwise, you need to start it manually. If it is not running, you need to start it manually, and then you can launch your MongoDB Compass tool and click on connect. Now you can see here I am connected to my MongoDB database running on my local host at port number 27017. Right? And now these are the default databases. By default, there will be admin, config, and local, 3 databases, which I already covered in the previous session, guys, again. So this video, if you check the description part of this video, it will have the playlist URL. Please go through the previous recording sessions if you missed those. Now, by default, you'll have, these are the default databases. These are the different default databases in MongoDB, admin, config, and local. And now I have created one database for demo purpose, and I named it as my demo database. Again, that database is containing 2 collections, as you can see here. I named it as demo collection and demo collection 1. Clear, guys? Just now we discussed it, right? So a database consists of multiple collections, right? A database consists of multiple collections. If you see either here or here, a database consists of multiple collections, and a collection consists of multiple documents. Clear, guys? And a document consists of multiple fields, right? Guess, like there will be a lot of effort involved to make this, content, and, with nice PPTs like this, with, appropriate images and content. So please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed before, and if you already subscribed, please share your feedback in the form of a comment or a, like button by hitting like button, or please share your feedback in the form of a comment. Okay. So now let us see how to insert this data into this MongoDB database which is running on my machine. So what I will do is I will insert a document into this demo collection 1, into a collection called demo collection 1. Now you can either use the UI or you can use Mongo shell, as you see here. There are 2 ways that you can insert the data into this database called my demo database, and then into this collection. You can either use it using the UI. You can do that either using the UI, or you can also, if you are familiar and if you want to try queries, you can try it over here. So for this session, I am going to use the MongoDB Compass UI. Now here, if you see here, the next to this collection name, right? So if you choose the collection name, right? You have an option called add data, right? Click on that add data and insert document. Use this option called insert document, and you will get a pop-up like this, a pop-up window like this. Now let's see how to insert the data into the database. Okay. Now, so what I will do is I will change this to, it is an object ID. I'll change it to some decimal. Okay. Hold on, guys. So I want to update this to 1. Okay. 1 second. You can edit it over here itself, guys. So I am giving, ID as 1. So I want to insert this data into a MongoDB collection called demo collection 1. So I can close this services window. Yeah. Now let me go to MongoDB Compass. And now, so once you click on this insert, or let me repeat it. Once you click on this insert document, you will get, by default, you will get some window like this. You'll get a pop-up like this. You can either, hold on. So you can either click on format. No, sorry. You can either click on this and, you can insert the data here, or else you can go to insert document and you can edit the content like this. So I don't want to insert all those. So I want to insert, right? So ID as one, and then I want to add some more data to my document, right? Some more data to my document. Now let me show you how to add the document, guys. So click on this, and you'll get a you'll get an insert document string like this, where you can edit this document and click, and you can add fields. So click on plus symbol and use this option, add field after ID, and type the field and value pairs, whatever you want to insert. So what I want to insert, first name as 1000, right? And I want to add one more field and let it be a string. By default, it is a string. Let it be a string. And then I want to add one more field for last name. And the field value is, I'm using tab here. So I'm moving from from field to value. So last name, I'll give it as M. And then I'll add one more field called, what is the field that we have over there, guys? Mobile, right? Mobile, and then organization and email, right? So let me add mobile as field name. And this is the value 905921939. And this makes our job easy, right? So using the UI rather than writing queries in the command prompt kind of console or Mongo shell here. So this UI makes our job easy, isn't it, guys? So if you want, you can change this to from string to a number or a decimal, right? So you can choose the data type. We'll discuss that what are the different data types later on. Now, so for now, yeah. So after mobile, I want to insert my organization name as MGMIT training, something like this. And add one more field. I want to add couple of more fields. Email of test.kb@gmail.com. And I will add one more field for city, Hyderabad. Right? So once you enter all the field and value pairs, simply click on insert button. Right? Now you can see here the document is inserted over here, and you see the document count as 1 over here, isn't it? Clear, guys? You see the document count as 1 over here. So this is the simplest way to insert a document into MongoDB database, right? Looks very simple, right? So rather than, you need not write any queries over here. You need not know what is the query syntax and all. So you can simply use the MongoDB Compass, UI, and insert documents, or, delete documents, retrieve documents, or, update the documents. Clear, guys? So shall we insert one more document now? So we lost all that data, right? I'll do one thing. And loan document, yeah. Copy document. You have options over here. Observe here. You have options to edit document and copy document and clone document, isn't it? So you can click on the clone document. Suppose if you want to insert, another, I want to insert, for example, my another trainer name, who is Sham, who is taking LoadRunner training. Sham is our new trainer for LoadRunner, guys, by the way. So I am providing training on JMeter, BlazeMeter, rest all the concepts, monitoring and analysis concepts within FlexDB, Grafana, Elasticsearch, Dynatrace, and all these tools. So Sham is our trainer for LoadRunner and monitoring and analysis concepts. Clear, guys? So I'm inserting another document just to show you how to insert another document. So I'm inserting details of our another trainer, right? Now see here. Now the document count became 2 over here, and you can see that the document got inserted. If you want to change this, ID, this user ID, then simply click on this, and you can change this. You can change the object ID. I think object ID cannot be changed because it is a primary field, primary key. It acts like a primary key. Okay. Or let me try, if I can do that. No. So update not permitted while document contains errors. Okay. Right. So this is how you can insert multiple documents into your collection. Now observe here, the collection name is demo collection 1, and a collection is nothing but a table in relational database. And just like how a table can contain multiple rows, right? Let me go to the slide deck once. Just like how a table can contain multiple rows, it so a collection can have multiple documents over here. And this is how we can insert multiple documents into the database, right? So how to do that, guys? So click on this add data, insert document. Or if you want to delete a particular row or a particular document from the database, you can simply click on this remove document button. That's it, right? Wonderful, right? So MongoDB Compass is wonderful, compared to any other, any other UI or any other database tools like Toad or DB, isn't it? So that's all I have for today, guys. So we'll, we'll see how to, so we have seen how to insert or create a document and how to delete a document and how to update the document. Yes, if you want to update the document, let me, you can simply click on this edit button and you can update the document with the whatever field you want to change. And simply click on update, right? And if you want to delete the document, click on this remove document. So this is how we can perform CRUD operations using MongoDB Compass tool. If you haven't installed, if you haven't installed this MongoDB on your system, on your local machine, so please go through the first session in this series, in MongoDB training series. Let me quickly show you that once. So I will be adding today's session to this playlist URL. So please go through this. I covered that in the first session or first or second session, somewhere, I think second session. Hold on, guys, please wait. So here I gave the session contents for each, yeah. So I covered that in session 2. What is MongoDB Compass and how to install, yeah. Getting started with MongoDB is covered in session 1. And I have explained what is MongoDB Compass, and I have explained what is UI and what is this MongoDB Compass UI and shell in the second session, and some general comments. So in this session, I covered like database structure and what is a document, what is a collection, and the CRUD operations, and how to create or insert a document into MongoDB collection. So the next session would be on MongoDB replication and how do we do relational database performance testing using a JDBC request sampler, and what is this MongoDB Java driver, and how to connect JMeter to MongoDB database, and how to create and insert a document into MongoDB from JMeter. So the next couple of sessions will be focused on JMeter basically, right? And how to do, how to connect to a MongoDB database from JMeter, and what is this MongoDB Java driver, and how to create and insert a document into MongoDB from JMeter toolkits. And in the last session, I will be covering how to do performance testing for MongoDB with JMeter, and how to do performance tuning, and what are the advantages and limitations of MongoDB, right? Last but not the least, we will discuss, what are the advantages and limitations of MongoDB. So if you feel that, if I am missing any other important topic, related to this JMeter performance testing MongoDB with JMeter, please let me know. So meanwhile, I will also, I have been continuously updating this, the slide and the course contents. Thanks for watching till now and have a nice day. So if you haven't subscribed, guys, this is my YouTube channel. You can go to, those who got this, video directly to your WhatsApp. So if you go to YouTube and search for performance testing live training, so here is my YouTube channel, guys, with my name and institute name, Pavan MGM IT Training. Please subscribe and turn on all notifications so that you will not miss these free demo sessions and updates on the new batches, guys. And thanks for joining and have a nice weekend. And please, don't forget to share your feedback, guys, in the comment section. And if you, or else you can share your feedback in the form of a like button. So thanks for watching guys one more time and have a nice day.